This one penny could be worth up to $40,000, 1963 D Lincoln penny from a proof set. You might want to double check your old coin jar, coin roll, or that vintage coin collection from your grandparents, because buried inside could be a small copper coin from 1963. A Lincoln penny, and believe it or not, if it's the right one, it could make you a fortune. We're talking $1,200 all the way up to a mind-blowing $40,000. And yes, I'm talking about the 1963 Lincoln D penny, a real, physical copper coin that's been found in proof-like condition, and it's worth far more than 1 cent today. I'm going to break down everything you need to know about the 1963 D Lincoln penny, from how it came from a special proof-like set, why it's so rare, and what specific details make certain examples worth thousands of dollars. This video is jam-packed with the most searched coin collecting keywords in the US, so stick around and take notes. This information could literally change your life if you happen to own one of these rare American pennies. So, let's dig into the world of rare United States pennies, and get ready to unlock the hidden value of the 1963 D Lincoln cent. Now first, let's talk about the basics. The Lincoln penny has been minted since 1909. That iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln? It's been sitting on your coins for over a century. But not all Lincoln pennies are created equal. Some of them, especially those with specific minting errors or rare conditions, can skyrocket in value, especially when they come from Denver or appear in proof-like sets. Despite not being official proofs, the 1963 D Lincoln penny, minted in Denver, may look like just another copper coin at first glance. But here's where things get interesting. While 1963 proof sets were officially produced at the Philadelphia Mint, some extraordinarily rare 1963 pennies with the D mint mark have surfaced that show proof-like surfaces, highly reflective fields, and crisp details typically reserved for proof coins. Collectors and grading companies have found that some of these 1963 D pennies appear to be struck from polished dies, giving them mirror-like finishes, and leading to an intense surge in collector interest. When submitted to grading companies like PCGS or NGC, these coins have shocked the coin community, not just with their condition, but with their auction prices. Let's talk real numbers. In the rare coin market, especially in the US, values depend on condition, eye appeal, and scarcity. A regular 1963 D penny in circulated condition? It might be worth only face value or a few cents. But a high-grade uncirculated 1963 D Lincoln penny, with proof-like features and strong strike quality, especially those graded MS67 red or higher, can easily fetch $1,200. And that's just the starting point. Now, hold on to your seat, because some 1963 D pennies in pristine condition, showing intense luster, flawless fields, and no contact marks, have been sold for up to $40,000 in public auctions and private sales. Yes, you heard that correctly, $40,000 for a 1-cent coin from 1963. The main question on your mind now is, how do you know if your 1963 D penny is one of these incredibly valuable coins? Here's what to look for. First, check for the D mint mark under the date. That stands for Denver Mint. Next, look at the surface of the coin. Does it have a deep mirror-like background? That's a sign it could be a proof-like strike. Then, check the color. The most valuable versions are full red, meaning they retain the original copper luster with no signs of browning or toning. Use a magnifying glass to inspect the details. Sharp, crisp edges on the lettering and Lincoln's bust mean it was struck from a well-maintained die. Look for die doubling or other mint errors. These can add hundreds or even thousands to the value. And finally, submit it for grading. That's the only way to truly confirm the value. Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, and Numismatic Guarantee Company, NGC, are the top grading companies that give coins official certification and help boost their market value. Now here's the catch, and why this video is so important. These high-grade 1963 D proof-like pennies don't come from official proof sets. They are believed to be either early strikes from freshly polished dies or coins struck with special care for collectors. That makes them not just rare, but mysterious and sought after. And that's exactly what collectors and investors are willing to pay big bucks for. In recent years, the demand for rare US pennies has exploded. Coin collecting is no longer just a hobby, it's an investment market. People are buying up rare coins at record prices, especially those with low populations in high grades. A top pop 1963D penny can be a centerpiece in a $1 million collection. So, if you have old rolls of pennies, especially from the 1960s, now is the time to dig them out and look closely. You might be sitting on a treasure you didn't even know existed. Imagine turning a dusty old penny into $1,200, or even $40,000. That's not a fantasy, it's already happened, multiple times, to lucky collectors who knew what to look for. So, do you have one? Go check. Flip through those coin rolls. Search that coin jar. Look inside that old proof set from the 60s. It just takes one coin to make it all worth it. Is your 1974 Lincoln D. penny worth up to $42,000? Coin collectors are desperate for this rare cent. Listen very closely, because what I'm about to tell you could change your perspective on pocket change forever. Somewhere inside your home, maybe in a coin jar, an old roll of pennies, a drawer, or a forgotten collection, could be a small, copper-colored coin that millions of people have handled without knowing its true value. But some lucky individuals have discovered this very same coin and cashed it in for amounts ranging from $1,400 all the way up to a staggering $42,000. The coin in question? The 1974 Lincoln D. penny. Yes, you heard that right. A 1-cent coin minted in the year 1974 at the Denver Mint, with a hidden potential that has stunned collectors, shocked auction houses, and excited numismatists across the United States. This isn't just any penny. This is a rare, high-grade, proof-like Lincoln cent, and it's time you learned why it's being called one of the most undervalued treasures in American coinage. So let's dive deep into the secrets of the 1974 D. Lincoln penny, why collectors are paying insane premiums for specific examples, and how you can tell if the penny in your hand is worth face value or worth more than a brand new car. First, a little background. In 1974, the U.S. Mint was experimenting with different metals to reduce coin production costs. Most pennies from that year were made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, and millions were produced in both Philadelphia and Denver. But here's where things get fascinating. There were some proof-like 1974 D. Lincoln cents that have surfaced in recent years. And they're causing a frenzy. While official proof coins were only struck at the San Francisco Mint, some 1974 D. pennies display surfaces so shiny and sharply struck that they mimic proof coins. These rare gems are not official proof coins, but they are so perfectly struck, so mirror-like, and so visually stunning that they have been called proof-like specimens by top coin grading experts. That's what collectors are after, and they're paying big money for them. Now, you might be wondering, what makes a 1974 D. penny so valuable? The answer lies in several critical factors that determine the market value of rare U.S. coins. Mint mark. The D stands for Denver, and it's located just beneath the date. That tiny letter is a major part of what makes these coins special. Strike quality. The most valuable 1974 D. pennies are those that were struck with freshly prepared dies, which means they have incredibly sharp details, reflective fields, and almost no contact marks. Color and condition. If your penny has a rich, original red luster, and no signs of wear, toning, or handling, it could be worth thousands. Coins graded MS66 red or MS67 red are in high demand. Certification. Coins graded and slabbed by PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Company, will always command higher prices. Collectors trust these certifications. Rarity in high grades. There are only a few known examples of 1974 D. Lincoln cents that grade above MS67 with full red color. And that's why the prices explode. So, what does this mean for you? It means that if you own a 1974 D. Lincoln penny that shows high luster, sharp strike, and full red coloration, you could be holding a coin worth $1,400 at the minimum. But it doesn't stop there. Let's talk about the upper end. Auction houses have documented certified proof-like or ultra-high-grade 1974 D. pennies fetching truly jaw-dropping numbers. The highest known examples have crossed the block for up to $42,000. Imagine turning a coin you found in a roll or a folder into a $42,000 payday. It sounds like a dream, but for a few lucky collectors, it became their reality. Now, here's the critical information you need to know. These coins often go unnoticed by the average person. Why? Because people assume pennies are worthless, especially from the 1970s. But coin collectors and dealers know better. They know the US coin market is booming. They know that rare Lincoln cents are one of the hottest categories. They know that coins from the 70s are finally starting to get the recognition they deserve, especially when they come from unexpected mints with proof-like finishes. So, how do you find one? Start by checking your 1974 penny collection. Look for that D mint mark under the date. Examine the surface. Does it gleam like a mirror when tilted in the light? That could be a key indicator. Use a jeweler's loupe to look closely at Lincoln's cheek, the steps of the Lincoln Memorial, and the lettering. The crisper the details, the more likely you've got a high-grade coin, and don't forget, submit it for grading. That's the only way to unlock its full value. Top graders at PCGS or NGC can confirm if your coin is one of the ultra-rare, high-value pieces making headlines today. And just think, what if you've had this coin sitting in a jar all this time? What if you passed over it without realizing it could be worth $1,400, or even $42,000? This is why education matters. This is why coin collecting has become more than a hobby. It's now a powerful form of investment. So before you spend or exchange another 1974 penny, take a closer look. You might be holding the key to a financial surprise. A single cent. That could change your financial future. If this blew your mind, imagine what else could be hiding in your pocket change. That's why you need to hit that like button, subscribe to this channel for more high-value coin secrets, and turn on notifications so you never miss another life-changing coin video. This 1976 Lincoln D penny could be worth up to $45,000. Do you have this hidden treasure? Hold on tight, because the next few minutes might just change the way you look at pocket change forever. Somewhere in your home, inside an old coin jar, a box of forgotten change, a dusty drawer, or maybe tucked away in a vintage proof-like coin set, you could be sitting on a hidden fortune. Not silver. Not gold. But a copper penny. A small, reddish coin that's been overlooked by millions of people for decades. I'm talking about the 1976 Lincoln D penny. A coin that looks ordinary, until it doesn't, because some of these 1976 Denver Mint pennies, especially those found in pristine, proof-like condition, are selling for absolutely jaw-dropping amounts of money. If yours is the right one, it could be worth not 1 cent, not $1, but anywhere from $1,600 to a mind-blowing $45,000. Yes, you heard that right. $45,000. For a single penny. And today, we're going to unpack the fascinating truth behind this coin. What makes the 1976 D Lincoln cent so desirable? Why are collectors across the United States chasing after it with such intensity? And most importantly, how can you tell if the penny in your hand could be worth more than your car? Now let's rewind for a moment. The year 1976 was America's bicentennial. It marked 200 years since the signing of the Declaration of Independence, and the entire nation was celebrating. The U.S. Mint released special designs for quarters, half dollars, and dollar coins to honor this historic event. But interestingly, the Lincoln penny didn't receive a special reverse design like those other denominations. It kept its classic Lincoln Memorial reverse, but that didn't stop something extraordinary from happening. While official proof coins were struck only at the San Francisco Mint, some 1976 Lincoln pennies minted in Denver have shown up in what experts call proof-like condition. That means they exhibit a stunning mirror-like finish, a sharp strike, and detail so clean and flawless that they resemble proof coins. Even though they technically aren't, these proof-like 1976 D pennies are rare. And rare equals valuable. Now, let's break down the reasons why these coins are creating a tidal wave of excitement in the numismatic community. First off, the D mint mark. This indicates that the coin was struck at the Denver Mint, and coins from Denver, especially in top condition, are commanding record-breaking prices in today's market. Next, the condition. The most valuable versions of the 1976 D Lincoln penny are those graded MS66 red, MS67 red, or even higher by leading grading services like PCGS and NGC. These coins must show full original red color with no signs of wear, no discoloration, and no handling marks. A third, the proof-like finish. This is what sets the most expensive coins apart. If your 1976 D penny looks like it's glowing, if it reflects light like a mirror, and if the details on Lincoln's face and the memorial are razor sharp, then you could be looking at a hidden gem. But how rare are these coins, really? The answer is, extremely rare. Only a tiny fraction of 1976 D Lincoln cents were struck in a way that left them with this dazzling proof-like appearance. And even fewer have survived in pristine, untouched, mint-state condition for nearly 5 decades. That's why collectors are going wild for them. That's why the auction prices have exploded in recent years. And that's why this video could be your key to discovering a small coin worth a massive payday. Let's talk numbers. Most average condition 1976 D pennies? Worth a cent. Maybe a few cents if they're in nice shape. But those ultra-rare, pristine, proof-like examples, the ones with that deep copper glow, no marks, full detail, and that all-important D mint mark, are selling for $1,600, all the way up to a massive $45,000 at high-profile auctions and private collector sales. Yes, a $45,000 penny, and don't make the mistake of thinking it can't happen to you. These valuable coins have been pulled from circulation. They've been discovered in coin rolls from the bank. They've been found in old family collections that were sitting in closets for years. 1 cent that was forgotten, until someone took a closer look. So, how do you check if your 1976 D penny is the jackpot coin? Here's your step-by-step guide. Flip the coin and check for the D mint mark below the year. That's Denver. That's what you want. Hold it under a bright light. Does it shine like a mirror? Is the background reflective and glassy? That's a major sign. Inspect Lincoln's profile. Is it sharp and crisp? Can you see full details in the hair, the cheek, the jacket? Proof-like coins have unbeatable definition. Look at the Lincoln memorial on the back. Are the steps fully struck? Are the lines clean and unbroken? Check the color. The most valuable coins have a full red copper tone, not brown, not faded, but gleaming red. And finally, get it graded. Send it to PCGS or NGC. That's the only way to confirm its grade, certify its value, and potentially turn it into thousands, or tens of thousands, of dollars. And here's the best part, the market for rare pennies is hotter than ever. Coin collecting is booming and the US investors are pouring money into rare coins. Collectors are scouring every cent for these elusive finds. And dealers are paying top dollar, especially for certified proof-like 1976 D Lincoln cents in the highest grades. That's why this isn't just a fun hobby anymore. This is an opportunity. So before you spend another penny, before you roll up that change, before you donate that old coffee can of coins, take a second look. Especially at your 1976 Lincoln pennies with the D mint mark, because that little coin you overlooked just might be worth $1,600, or even as much as $45,000. Could this 1980 Lincoln D penny be worth up to $47,000? Rare proof-like coins are changing lives. Pause whatever you're doing right now and listen very carefully, because the penny you've been ignoring in your pocket, the one you've tossed into a jar, rolled into a sleeve, or maybe never even noticed, could be a ticket to a small fortune. And no, we're not talking about some old colonial coin from the 1700s or a gold doubloon lost at sea. We're talking about something that millions of Americans have had in their hands, a 1980 Lincoln D penny. Yes, a 1-cent coin from 1980. And today, I'm going to tell you why this specific penny, struck at the Denver Mint, is not just turning heads, but turning wallets upside down. Some of these 1980 Lincoln D pennies are selling for more money than a brand new luxury car. And if you've got the right one sitting in your house, in your change drawer, or in your coin folder, it could be worth not just a few bucks, but $1,600, or even as much as $47,000. Let's break down what makes this copper-clad miracle so shockingly valuable, and how you, yes, you, can check your 1980 pennies right now to see if you've got the holy grail of modern American coins. Now, Most people would glance at a 1980 penny and think nothing of it. After all, it was a common year. Over 5.1 billion Lincoln cents were struck at the Denver Mint that year. So what gives? Well, here's the twist: among those billions of coins, there are a small number of specimens that were struck with extraordinary quality, coins so sharp, so flawless, so mirror-like, that collectors began calling them proof-like. These are not official proof coins, which were only minted in San Francisco. But these proof-like 1980 Lincoln cents were minted in Denver with such pristine characteristics that they are nearly indistinguishable from coins in proof sets. These rare unicorns are being snapped up by collectors and investors for unbelievable prices, and they're the reason you need to look at every 1980 penny you own right now. So, what exactly makes the 1980 penny worth so much? Let's dive into the top 5 value factors that can instantly transform this 1-cent coin into thousands of dollars. 1. The D Mint mark. The D stands for Denver. Coins struck at the Denver Mint tend to be well made, but among those, only a few come out with proof-like surfaces. That mint mark under the year is the first thing to check. Point 2. Strike quality and finish. The most valuable 1980 Lincoln D pennies are those with a deep mirror-like surface, razor-sharp detail, and an overall glassy appearance. When you tilt them in the light, the background looks like a reflective pool, while Lincoln's bust seems to pop off the coin. These are the characteristics of a proof-like strike, and they're extremely rare from the Denver Mint. Point 3. Original red color. Collectors prize coins with the original red copper tone. This is the natural luster of an uncirculated coin. If your 1980 penny is bright, red, and free of any brown oxidation or wear, that's a huge plus. Coins graded red, abbreviated as RD, are far more valuable than brown or red-brown ones. Point 4. Certified grade by PCGS or NGCU can't unlock maximum value without certification. If your coin gets graded MS66 red, MS67 red, or even better, it's going to be in high demand. These grades indicate a flawless or near-flawless coin, and only a handful exist in the highest levels for this year. Point 5. Population rarity. Even though billions were made, the number of surviving proof-like 1980 Lincoln cents in perfect condition is shockingly low. That's what fuels the value, rarity combined with eye appeal and condition. Now let's talk about real money. Average circulated 1980 pennies? Worth 1 cent. Maybe a few cents if you're lucky. But the right coin, in pristine, certified condition with proof-like qualities, is being valued by top collectors and sold in private sales and auctions for anywhere from $1,600, all the way up to a staggering $47,000, yes, $47,000. For a penny, there have been cases where collectors opened old rolls from the 1980s, expecting nothing, and pulled out one of these dazzling proof-like D-mint beauties. Others found theirs in old proof sets or coin albums inherited from parents or grandparents. And once certified, those coins skyrocketed in value. So now the big question: could you be holding one of these? It's time to go on a treasure hunt. Get out your coin jars. Open those old penny rolls. Dig through your childhood coin albums. Examine every 1980 Lincoln penny you find. Look for that telltale Denver D mint mark under the date. Shine a bright light on the surface. Do you see a mirrored background and crisp, bold features? Does the coin gleam with a full red luster and no signs of circulation? If it looks unusually perfect, it might just be a proof-like coin, but remember, don't clean it. Don't touch the surfaces. Just send it to a reputable grading service like PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Company, to have it authenticated and graded. That's your ticket to tapping into its full value, because the market is red hot. Collectors are searching high and low for this exact coin. And as more people learn about its value, competition is heating up. Coin collecting in the US is booming. Social media is flooded with stories of everyday Americans finding coins worth thousands. TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, everyone is waking up to the fact that hidden treasures are hiding in plain sight. Especially in the form of pennies that were minted decades ago and forgotten. So here's what you need to do right now. Go check your coins. Dig up those 1980 Lincoln cents with the D mint mark. If you find one that looks uncirculated, mirror shiny, and bright red, you might just be holding a fortune in the palm of your hand, and if it checks all the boxes and gets graded by the pros, your single penny could be worth $1,600, or if you've struck gold, figuratively, a total of $47,000. Don't miss this opportunity. Don't assume your pennies are worthless, because one of them just might change your financial future. Is this 1981 Lincoln D penny in your change jar worth over $52,000? Here's the truth about this rare coin. Get ready, because what you're about to hear may change the way you look at coins forever. Every day, millions of Americans handle pocket change without a second thought. They drop pennies into tip jars, ignore them on the sidewalk, or toss them into junk drawers and glove compartments, but buried among those billions of forgotten coins lies a secret. A hidden treasure. One that could be worth more than a luxury car, or a college tuition, or even the down payment on a house, and it's not made of silver or gold. It's a Lincoln penny, specifically, the elusive and incredibly valuable 1981 Lincoln D penny. At first glance, it looks like any other cent, copper-colored, Lincoln's face on the front, the Lincoln Memorial on the back. But what most people don't realize is that some rare versions of this everyday coin, especially those struck in proof-like quality from the Denver Mint, are now selling for astonishing amounts of money, and I'm not talking about a few bucks. I'm talking about real cash. Life-changing money. Up to $2,000, and in extreme cases, a jaw-dropping $52,000. That's right. One penny. $52,000. So now the big question is, do you have one of these rare 1981 D Lincoln cents in your home right now? Let's dive deep and uncover the truth behind this mysterious coin that's got collectors scrambling, dealers searching, and everyday Americans suddenly checking their old jars of change with a brand new sense of excitement. The year was 1981. Ronald Reagan was sworn in as president. MTV launched for the first time. And the United States Mint was still producing copper-based Lincoln cents, just before the major shift to zinc in 1982. That means the 1981 penny is among the last of the full copper era, making it a special year for collectors. But there's more to the story. Coins from 1981 struck at the Denver Mint, marked with a small d under the year, are not usually considered rare on the surface. Billions were made. But as with all things in numismatics, the true magic is in the details, because hidden within those billions, there are a few coins that were struck so perfectly, under such ideal conditions, that they came out looking like proof coins, even though they weren't supposed to. Let's talk about what makes proof-like coins so special. A proof coin is struck using specially prepared dies and polished planchets. These coins are usually made at the San Francisco Mint and included in proof sets. However, from time to time, coins from other mints, like the Denver Mint, come out with unusually sharp detail and brilliant mirror-like surfaces. This happens when new dies are used and when striking pressure is just right. These proof-like 1981 Lincoln D pennies are rare. So rare that many collectors and dealers go their entire careers without seeing one in person, but when they do appear, and especially when they're in pristine, untouched condition, they fetch premium prices at auctions and in private collector circles. Now, if you're wondering whether your 1981 D penny might be one of these unicorn coins, here are the signs to look for. 1. The D mint mark. This is key. You must see a clean, clear D below the date. That indicates the Denver Mint. This specific version from Denver, in proof-like finish, is what's commanding top dollar. 2. Mirror-like surfaces hold the coin up to the light. Does it reflect like a mirror? Can you see sharp contrast between the flat surfaces and raised features? Proof-like coins often have that dazzling appearance. 3. Full details. Check Lincoln's hair, cheekbones, and jawline. Look at the columns and steps of the Lincoln Memorial. If everything is crisp, sharp, and perfectly struck, that's a very good sign. 4. Red color, full red luster. The highest value coins retain their original red copper coloring. If your coin is bright red-orange and hasn't darkened or turned brown over time, you might be holding something very valuable. Point 5. Know where or damage. Even the tiniest scratch or nick can drastically lower a coin's value. That's why coins in MS, mint state, condition, especially MS66, MS67, and higher, are so important. Coins graded by PCGS or NGC in top mint state conditions are the ones breaking price records. So what happens when all these factors come together in one single coin? You get the ultimate jackpot, a 1981 D Lincoln penny with proof-like qualities, in certified high-grade mint state, with full red color, zero imperfections, and razor-sharp detail. And the value? Here's where it gets wild. Some of these ultra-rare, perfect condition 1981 D Lincoln cents have sold for $2,000. That's already exciting. But it gets better. If the coin reaches elite levels, graded MS68 red, with proof-like surfaces and verified rarity, these pennies have been valued at $52,000, yes, $52,000 for a coin you might have picked up as change at the grocery store years ago. So what should you do right now? Go look, search every coin jar, every piggy bank, every roll of pennies you've stashed in your kitchen or garage. Look at your childhood coin collection. Check your grandparents' stash. Pull out every 1981 penny you can find and examine it under a light. If you find one that checks all the boxes, Denver mint, proof-like surface, flawless red color, no wear or damage, you might have just found your fortune. Then, send it to a professional grading company like PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Company. Only then can you get it officially authenticated, graded, and ready for auction or sale. And here's the secret: collectors are out there right now looking for this exact coin. Dealers are buying. Private buyers are spending big. And as word continues to spread through social media, YouTube, and TikTok, the demand for rare Lincoln pennies is only going up. The 1981 Lincoln D penny is no longer just a 1-cent coin. In the right condition, it's a treasure. A collectible. An investment. And possibly a once-in-a-lifetime discovery hiding in your own home. So don't waste another minute. Your next big payday could be waiting inside a jar of pennies that you haven't looked at in years. And if you found this video helpful, exciting, or even jaw-dropping, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and tap the notification bell so you never miss a chance to learn about the next coin that could make you rich. Remember, coins like these are rare, but not impossible to find. All it takes is one lucky penny to change everything. Check your 1981 D Lincoln cents today. Because one of them could be worth $2,000, or even as much as $52,000.